Hi, everybody. Terry Kuti with Deep Sea Foundation. We have the Deep Sea Foundation YouTube channel, as well as the Deep Sea Journey podcast. I am super honored to be in San Antonio this week with the surgeons at PRMA Plastic Surgery. We are celebrating Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day, but as I say at the foundation, Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day is every day. But we have an important conversation that we're going to talk about today with Dr. Chet Nastala, one of the surgeons here at PRMA. I'm going to let him quickly introduce himself. This is a topic that so many patients ask about, and it's sensation to the breast. So, Dr. Nastala, thanks for joining me today. It's really great to see you.
Thank you,
Can you
Terry.
tell us a little bit about your training and background before we get started?
Yes. Well, first, thank you for having me here. Thanks for doing this and getting all this important information out to all of our listeners.
Absolutely.
It is Breast Reconstruction Awareness Week, as you said, so we're happy to go over some of these things later in the week. Also at our Breast Reconstruction Awareness get-together on Thursday evening. A little bit about me. I was educated up in the Northeast. I went to Harvard undergrad and Duke for medical school, and I was able to do my surgical training at the University of Pittsburgh, which is an excellent medical center combining both plastic surgery, general surgery, a little bit of surgical oncology and research. And then I finished up with the plastic surgery there, where we did a lot of microsurgery. But I've been here at PRMA for about 25 years. Amazing. After my first 4 or so years at the University of Texas, where I was able to teach. I am particularly interested in the sensation of the breast, nerve repairs, and optimizing our outcomes for our breast reconstruction. First of all, for breast reconstruction, we have tried to improve and bring forward the field of autologous breast reconstruction using the body's own tissue for reconstruction to provide a more natural breast with ultimately better sensation. Now, that's been ongoing for many years of research, and there's been many advances, but still we're not there yet to the perfect breast reconstruction with excellent sensation, because there are limitations of the body's own ability to regenerate the nerves even after they're repaired. So a little bit of a background on the nerve anatomy of the breast. As you all may know, most of the nerves arise from the spinal cord, which is in our back, and a very large spinal cord, and it's about the size of a rope, which comes in our back. We also have nerves coming out from our brain, but ultimately all of the nerves come around our body and through and between our segments that we call thoracic segments or cervical segments. So the breast itself is on top of the rib cage, and we will have nerves that come between the ribs in the intercostal spaces, and then penetrate those intercostal muscles and supply the gland itself and supply the skin and nipple in a very complex way. So we have nerves that penetrate on the lateral side of the breast, and we have nerves that go deep within the chest wall and penetrate on the medial side of the breast and sort of envelop the breast.
You know, Dr. Nastala, it's funny how you're using your hands. When I talk to women, I do the same thing. I use that analogy or that picture, because that's the way the nerves run across the breast area here. So
correct, and we will have
familiar.
We'll have a lot of pictures and diagrams, but I took maybe 20 or 30 photos in the last month or so just to prepare for the nerve talk that we'll be doing. And you can see very precisely where each of those nerves comes through and is cut during a mastectomy. Now, let's talk about breast cancer treatment. We all know that breast cancer treatment is multimodal, meaning there's surgery to remove the breast, there's chemotherapy to eliminate cancer cells in the body. There's immunotherapy to change the immune system response to the cancer. There's radiation therapy that typically comes from outside to in, or maybe from inside to out, with implantable. And there are various like antibodies and other biological therapies. So there's it used to be a 3-legged stool, now it's a 4 or 5-legged table, and there are many, many things that will come in the future. But as far as surgery, it's the same type of surgery that was done 100 years ago to do a mastectomy, but today it's obviously been refined and refined with each successive decade of making surgery more comfortable for the patient in terms of pain control and so forth. But the the nerves that are severed in a mastectomy can now mostly be preserved to a certain extent. Now, obviously, nerves go from a cable, like a cable that you plug in your phone, to 2 or 3 millimeters, to a very, very small nerve fiber that arborizes and branches within the breast itself. So the nerve sensation to the nipple is different from the sensation to the overlying skin, because those nerves, as they branch, kind of like a river, tributaries or branches of rivers, will go in different directions. So you can think of the nerves all completely surrounding and within the breast, but at the chest wall to where the breast comes, that nerve is severed during a mastectomy. And those come from the third, so I mentioned here, third, fourth, fifth, sixth intercostal spaces. So they're coming out between the ribs in those various intervals. If those nerves can be preserved as they go into the breast, then we have a small stump or segment of nerve, which can then be repaired to a flap. Or if you're having an implant, some surgeons can take a graft of a nerve and bring that nerve all the way up to underneath the nipple. So that nerve is essentially like a cable that provides signals. So when we reinnervate a flap with our TruSense technique, that is a service mark that we have developed to signify that we're taking a nerve of your body from the mastectomy, which is now, prepared properly, and we're taking a nerve from the flap. So we have a donor nerve, a recipient nerve. Those two are brought together, and they are wrapped by a little segment of vein or nerve or artery to keep them in a good position. And they're tiny little sutures that are used to repair that nerve, much in the same way as if you cut a nerve in your wrist or your finger and went to the emergency room and had a hand surgeon put those nerves together. The process of reconnecting those nerves is the first step in nerve repair. It does not ensure that you will regain sensation, because as we all know, sometimes after a cut nerve, we're still numb, and we're still numb in our breast or elsewhere in the body. So even repairing the nerve doesn't ensure sensation. The body has to regenerate by growing those nerve fibers within the tube of the nerve that is most distal or most farthest away, where the sensory input comes back to our body. So the things that affect the ability for our nerves to regenerate are age. The older you are, if you're 70 years old versus a 30-year-old, then the nerve growth is much slower. That's part of aging process. It's not an abnormal thing. It just is part of our body's decreased ability over time to get our nerves to regrow. Things like radiation, problems like diabetes or other medical issues, smoking, for example, will allow those nerves to grow much slower. So part of what we are trying to do in every patient is work with the breast surgeon to preserve those nerves as much as possible, not cauterize them right at the chest wall level, but trace them out into the breast, allow us to have those nerves preserved. As far as the sensation to the skin and the nipple, those nerves branch, and if the breast surgeons are able to see those nerves coming into the skin, they can preserve the entire nerve because
Mhm.
that's not part of the breast.
Yeah.
But a nerve that's running within the breast itself has to be cut during a mastectomy.
Yeah.
Uh, so that really helps many patients retain as much sensation as possible.
Mhm.
Then, as we put our flaps in and do the reconstruction, doing a proper TruSense nerve repair to one or another of the nerves is the next step to really augment that.
Mhm.
Now, as far as the studies that have been done to prove whether that is the best way, that has been supported by a number of studies.
Right.
Some we've done and some that have been done in the literature is replete with those studies. However, there is variability, just like we know in many medical studies. You have to control for variables precisely to know that if, for example, if you didn't innervate one breast reconstruction but you innervated the other, is it possible that one breast has more sensation than the other in the outcome of your study? Yes, because you may have preserved nerves better on the one side versus cutting all the nerves on the other. So those things have to be controlled very carefully. But when you look at the sum total of those studies, I think we can safely say that doing nerve repair is better than not doing a nerve repair, other things being equal.
Well, it's such a complex system, our nerves within the breast. I mean, our entire body, but we're talking about the breast now.
Mhm.
And also, you know, the neuroplasticity and the new messaging that our brains feel and tell us about what our breasts feel like after this nerve reconstruction.
You're absolutely right. I think that is a great observation because we sometimes get overconfident in medicine that we think we know everything, and then boom, we're hit with more
Mhm.
questions than we have solutions for. For example, women who have mastectomies but do not get reconstruction have a high rate of post-mastectomy pain.
Pain, yes.
Okay, so that is not to say that if you have to go through a mastectomy, cannot get reconstruction, that you will have pain, but it is an observation that's generally made in women who are dealing with post-mastectomy chest discomfort,
Mhm.
that those nerves have nowhere to grow, and
Yes.
they oftentimes can inappropriately grow around themselves and form a neuroma, which is a abnormal growth because that nerve is trying to grow. So when mastectomy is done and a flat closure is done, what we often do, if we're part of that procedure, is to take those nerves and tuck them underneath a healthy pectoralis muscle, for
Mhm.
example, so that at least they can grow into something where the neuroma won't be painful.
Where they're a little more behaved.
They're a little bit more behaved because they're able to settle down.
Yeah.
They're in their normal environment.
Uh-huh.
Whereas a nerve that is pressing on the skin and then trying to grow into the skin will oftentimes be triggering. And that's part of the reason that women who are healing in 2, 3 weeks to months afterwards may have abnormal sensations, which we call
Mhm.
zingers or paresthesias. Abnormal hyposthesia is another term for it. So being able to repair those nerves is one way to let them settle down and let them grow properly.
Mhm.
I think we have not come to a full realization of the best way to make those nerves grow. We certainly know technically how to reconnect them,
Yeah.
but not always the best environment to provide. So obviously, uh, medications in the future, maybe or supplements or other things
Mhm.
may be part of that equation.
Don't know what those little buggers are doing once they're tucked in. Yeah. Quick question. So patient wakes up from nerve reconstruction. Are they going to feel something right away?
Most patients will feel something from the nerves that are preserved,
Right.
not necessarily a nerve that has been cut and had a reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
So one rule of thumb to remember is that when a nerve is cut, the growth of that nerve is approximately 1 inch per month. So if you're growing at a 6 inch or 5 inch, you're talking a multiple months of
Yep.
nerve growth. So that will improve with time. Now, as swelling goes down and as sensation, you're going to get an early increase of sensation during the surgical healing process. And then you're going to have that slow improvement
Mhm.
over time and really out to several years, right?
Mhm.
So ultimately, that's the case with all types of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Where the skin has been changed. It will take time. And then, like you said, neuroplasticity, the more you can manipulate the skin with massage, moisturization, gentle techniques through your post-oncology rehab program, if your doctor chooses to send you to something like that, which I would highly recommend. Most cancer centers are going to have the rehab programs affiliated with them. They will attempt to improve the sensation
Mhm.
by promoting all those different techniques.
Yeah, different methodology. Yeah. So fascinating, Dr. Nastala. Thank you so much. And again, the word true sense means you're using all of the patient's own tissue as opposed to a nerve graft, which also, I mean, on some occasions needs to be used. But the true sense is all the patient's own materials, if you will, which is what I had at PRMA. And even with radiation, I have sensation.
That's awesome.
So, but I ask you the question about the timing because it does take, it took me fully a year. So, yeah. Thank you so much for
welcome.
this information today. And I want to thank you from all the patients you have served over your 20-some years here at PRMA. I hear a lot of good things from them. We appreciate all the surgeons here. And those that choose microsurgery as their practice. I call it a profession of passion. And so we just appreciate you. And I appreciate you taking time to stop in from your clinic practice today and do a video with me.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.